試してみればいい。
準備はできてない。
A few moments later.
What the fuck?
Welcome back to another video, navigators. Today I'm going to break down the NPC that quite literally stole the thunder during the A Slow Life event. I'll discuss Minos' role in the lore, my experiences facing Minos as a boss, and my guide on beating Minos. In the story, Minos served as the head butler for the Anderson family and was tasked with bringing home Nina Anderson, the daughter of an esteemed family in Umberton. He is skilled in several categories that includes but not limited to gardening, mining, fishing, and treasure hunting. By the story's resolution, Minos challenges Nina and the Navigator's resolve to test whether Nina will be safe alongside the Navigator. In my opinion, Minos would make for a great playable character in the far future, but as a challenge boss, he can be rather brutal and outright unfair to beginners. He is a yellow type boss that makes use of the enhance and weaken tiles mechanic. His movement is not explicitly stated. Instead, the description only suggests where he will most likely travel, which makes it harder to anticipate and account for his movements. This randomness, coupled with the sporadic placements of enhanced and weakened tiles, makes the whole ordeal less of an orchestrated attempt and more like an impromptu struggle to deal with whatever happens. There is also no way of avoiding damage. He has a gun, and you're fighting him on a terrain flat as a chessboard. Although it is a battle of attrition to see whose HP bar gets emptied first, it's not like World War I where one can dig a trench to avoid being turned into Swiss cheese. Aside from battling Minos, it's also a race against the clock. Given only 15 rounds, the AI built into Minos plays a tactical gameplay that aims to keep the player from achieving the winning condition. Minos will walk over and disrupt tile connections to prevent much needed Aurora time for additional damage, while also keeping his back against the wall or corner to reduce the number of potential normal attacks he can receive each round. Only when the player's HP is within critical range will Minos swagger confidently out of safety to deal with the executioner's blow. Well, how do we beat that? Of course, if you have Paloma or Midgard, this is a cakewalk. Not to even mention, every player has access to Mythos, which is hands down one of the best characters in the game. I guess the only way to win in a gunfight is to bring one yourself. Those green sniper characters are ideal for dealing constant damage to Minos regardless of your position on the board, with the exception of Midgard. Just bring along your rifle healing and some converters and you're set. But of course, you wouldn't be watching this if it was that simple, right? Not all players have access to the ideal 6-star characters needed to tackle this boss, nor has every player invested in unlocking Mythos. And even then, with all the proper characters, Minos still has the possibility of reducing any team to dust with raw firepower. Thus, here are the key points that I have ascertained after attempts to find a viable way of defeating Minos without using a 6-star character. 1. Utilize elemental advantage and equipment skill in team building. 2. Proper micromanagement of health, number of enhanced tiles, number of weakened debuff stacks, and Minos' 2 states. 3. Proper use of characters' active skills at crucial moments. 4. Correct chaining of tiles to maximize normal attacks and chain combo damage. 5. Luck. While attempting this challenge, I realized that my no 6-star team lacked the needed damage to defeat Minos within 15 rounds. This was a result of not having enough resources to fully level up Koskuda, the team's main DPS. However, even at max level, I do not think the additional 100 attack would have made much of a difference. What was important wasn't the raw attack values here, it was the equipment skills. Koskuda's equipment, Withered Flower, at max level places dismembered stacks on the enemy that gives Koskuda an additional 5% increase in damage per stack, which can be stacked up to a maximum of 5 times. In addition, Mortal Bud, her active skill, has a very high damage multiplier of 450%. This can be synergized with Silva's equipment, Vine Blade, which at max level allows normal attacks and chain combo to ignore 30% of the enemy's defense when dealing damage to a single enemy. Other green characters gain this effect if there's only one enemy on the board, which applies to our one-on-one with Minos. Sylva's active skill, Storm Sprint, can aid in repositioning for better chances at executing Aurora time. Therefore, Cuscuda's and Sylva's equipment skill together, the 25% increase in damage and 30% armor shred, I hoped would have been enough to overcome the lack in damage. Uriah's equipment, Eulogy, plays well with the enhanced tile generation mechanic because she provides heals based on her defense when passing over the enhanced tiles. Uriah's active, Vines of Prayer, and chain combo, Prayer of Healing, will be the team's main source of sustain through Minos' unrelenting barrages of bullets. It is important that Uriah is at full ascension for the maximum benefits of her healing. It is also important to have Sylva at full ascension for maximum benefits of his utilities. As for Sakaar and Pact, our two converters, having these characters at full ascension but at level 1 can give the team a larger HP pool. Pact's equipment isn't necessary, but consider having Sakaar's equipment Mortal Tomb at max level for a quick burst of damage at the beginning of the battle. Having the first breakthrough for Sakaar was necessary in my attempt. Proper micromanagement of the team's health is crucial. Minos will deal damage every turn and will deal significantly more damage every third turn. Make sure to use Uriah's heal whenever it is available. Take advantage of Aurora time, which can refresh Uriah's active skill for additional heals. Never use Uriah's active when your HP is close to max. Because of the active's effect, excess healing has the possibility of sabotaging your battle by generating enhanced tiles which Minos can make use of. This takes us on to management of the enhanced tiles. Minos has two phases, Mortal phase, which generates enhanced tiles, and Minotaur phase, which generates weakened tiles. Minos gathers stack when he passes through enhanced tiles, which increases the stack count by 2, or weakened tiles, which decreases the stack count by 1. Minos will also gain or lose stacks when he absorbs enhanced or weakened tiles, respectively. Minos will be in the Mortal state if he has less than 10 stacks, and Minotaur state if he has more. It is also important to know that passing through these tiles with your character will also affect Minos' stack count. Our goal is to minimize the amount of enhanced tiles on the board, so it is important to keep Minos in the Minotaur state. To survive past the third round, it is crucial to keep Minos' stack count over 10 before Minos' second turn, otherwise Minos will generate too many enhanced tiles for us to manage. These enhanced tiles can be imagined as piles of bullets, which if left irresponsibly out and about, the same instance that occurred on September 12, 1997 in Nikaho of Akita Prefecture will happen again. Gun devil. Anyways, however, it is important not to let Minos' stack grow too large, otherwise his damage will overcome Uriah's ability to sustain the team. It might be necessary to intentionally pass through weakened tiles and gain the weakened debuff to keep Minos' stack from growing too high. Be wary, carrying too many weakened debuff stacks can also hamper your ability to defeat Minos within 15 rounds. A good tip is to save long tile connections for when after Minos absorbs away the weakened tiles. Proper use of active skill can sway the tide of battle. Characters with damage-centered active skill should be used upon cooldown to maximize the amount of times it can be used within the 15-round range. Utility type active skill should be used carefully and only when necessary. Tile conversion should only be used if it sets up a strong attack. It is hard to set up tiles in advance due to the possibility of Minos ruining the tile connections. There are exceptions to these rules, but for most situations, these rules are applicable. Having multiple attempts is a good way to fine-tune the proper timing for when an active skill should be used. In my attempt, I used Pact's conversion of red to green tiles at the start, and Sylva's repositioning to trigger Aurora time within the first round. Always aim to chain tiles so that a normal attack connects, which is any tiles adjacent to Minos, and so that the characters perform the highest tier of chain combo for the most damage. If there's an excess in tiles, don't continue connecting tiles once achieving Aurora time. These tiles could be used to perform a second max tier chain combo. Think in advance and take into account the available tile connections at the destination. And last, luck. Depending on how enhanced and weakened tiles are generated, it could be a blessing or a demise in waiting. After multiple attempts, I can sort of tell when a battle is imminent for failure based on where the enhanced and weakened tiles are placed. It's just like the challenge stage's description, quote, "Don't be too disappointed if you lose this one," unquote. Ultimately, the sole reason I attempted this challenge was to show the free-to-play possibilities and to help players that may have recently joined us during the first year anniversary event. I use characters that are readily available to the player with the exception of Cascutta. I have thought about utilizing 5-star Green Sniper Lola, but have decided against it because she was a limited time character that was only available during the Sands of Time events. In addition, this attempt with no 6-star or high attack stat characters presents Alchemy Star as a game that has more dimensions than what meets the eyes. Literally. That is all I have for now. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts and other tips you would like to offer to other players. If this video was helpful, do drop a like and subscribe for more content. Enjoy the rest of the video. Tor out!